What's going on, Sumolings? Thank you so much for joining us for another product walkthrough webinar. I am Lindsay, and today we are joined by the team over at Nimbus Note. Nimbus Note is a comprehensive platform for organizing notes, documents, and projects from multiple sources in a collaborative digital environment. Is on AppSumo right now for $59 for a lifetime deal, and it has 5 tacos and 316 ratings. So it is killing it in our store these days. A little insider secret. So yes, cheers, claps all around. Before we dive into the walkthrough, the highly anticipated walkthrough, as I see all these participants joining us, a few quick things. First, if you have any questions, go ahead and leave those in the Q&A box. Second, if you want to tell us about your use case, why you're interested in this product, go ahead and do that in the chat room. We do love when you say hi to us too, so you can go ahead and do that as well. And the last thing is that there will be a replay of this available. So if you need to step out, you can. If you want to watch this again as you're falling asleep at night, you could do that too. Anything you want. You can watch this as many times as you want. All right. That's it for me. Hey, Pavel, how are you doing?
Hey, Lindsay. Yeah, so thank you. Okay, so let's start. So thank you for hosting this webinar. I greatly appreciate your help and all AppSumo team who helped us to get prepared. And I was very surprised in a very good way that AppSumo provides so many people who help companies like Nimbus to have a great campaign, and that's really super awesome. Thank you guys again. So also, I'd like to welcome everyone who joined us on this product walkthrough, and those who is going to watch it later as well. Besides that, we have a Bruce here. He's a part of our engagement and success team. So hey, Bruce, say hi to Sumolings.
Hey, Sumolings. A lot of you guys know me. I'm pretty active in the community. I've helped out before. You guys are pretty familiar with me. I'm helping out a lot with like outreach, like Pavel mentioned, and you'll see my face on the weekly webinars and the talk shows that we do too.
Great. Thank you, Bruce. So okay, so before I jump to the demo, I'd like to tell you the following. So first about myself and the company, for those who still don't know us. A brief intro of what Nimbus Note is, and the most important, why we are here on AppSumo. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. The company was founded in 2014. Initially, we developed various small products. They become very popular, and some of them they were acquired. So back then, Nimbus was not our primary focus. We researched that market and solutions that we could provide in this area. And somewhere in, I think in 2017, we decided to fully focus on Nimbus and keep aside all other products. So our mission creating Nimbus Note is to bring freedom and to you and your team, and provide you one centralized platform to organize all your information so that it makes sense. And the Nimbus Note has two complementary products that are included in this deal. The first one is a web clipper that helps you to clip and save web pages. So very straightforward solution. Many of you know about it. And another one is a Nimbus Capture or Nimbus Screenshot. You can find it in a Chrome Web Store Chrome Web Store. That's for visual messaging. And I want to highlight, because we got a lot of questions regarding the capture. So the Nimbus Capture is built for the communication, not for recording Netflix videos in a 4K quality. So that's a different software. Use it for video communication, guys, please. So why we are on AppSumo and what's our goal here? In early 2020, almost 8 months ago, we launched our first version of Nimbus Note for teams and businesses. And we've got a great launch and lots of feedback and support from the community. So during the past 6 months, we were working hard on all features and problems that we've got from the community, so from you. And today, we want to invite Sumo links to join our community that we are building around Nimbus Note. So our goal is to raise awareness and get feedback for our next roadmap. So for that, we need your use cases and to know what problems we currently have to make our product even better. And I also want to tell you a quick story. So 12 months ago, I met a Jeremy. I hope he's watching right now. Us. He introduced me to LTZ communities and helped with initial launch. And he was the one who advised us to build a CNAME, a custom domain feature. And later on, it turned out that this functionality is one of our most popular. And he's a part of our community and manages our private community group. And I'm sure he's very happy when he reads all comments and reviews, realizing that the CNAME actually was his idea. So next couple of years, when Nimbus becomes a lot more popular and bigger, you will be the one of those early adopters who provided us feedback and use cases and support to make that happen. So that's very important. And I think that's what's unique about LTD communities, and our success is your success because you will also benefit from that. So that's why, first of all, you need to concentrate not on a small problems, but you need to look at the team and the solution potential that we are building. So what we can achieve together. And the last thing is, don't forget to join our private Facebook group and provide us feedback. So we need your help, we need your awareness. And that's a primary reason why we are here, guys. That's very important. So and now let's start to the demo. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen, guys. Let me see. Okay, here we go. So let me take this off on my second monitor. Okay, Bruce, can you confirm it? Are you seeing my screen?
Perfect.
So you see our roadmap, right? Okay, so before we jump to the initial demo, so a couple things. We have a great page with all resources. Bruce, please post in the chat. So you can find everything here that you need at AppSumo FAQ, our roadmap, some special offers, and what most important, our guide section. And what we found out, even with people who is using Nimbus for a quite long time, they know only about 60% of what's going on. So we created a lot of guides on the very bottom. That's for organization, for business, for client portal, all of those things. Just go there. We have a really great guides with motion graphics. They are not boring. That's gonna help you to adapt and better understand what we do. Okay, so so let's start. So we are in our organizational console, and that's where all magic happens. So what's unique about Nimbus compared to other solutions is we took our time to create more structured and larger solution. So so you start with organizational console, organizational level, and you can have a multiple organizations. So we don't limit you how many organizations you can have. Just every organization requires at least one code or subscription. And so once you create an organization, so I created one for AppSumo. If you go to billing, that's a place where you can redeem your code besides the primary page that you get from the AppSumo instructions. And on this organization, you have several controls. It's pretty straightforward, and the key is workspaces. So our next level of our structure is workspaces, and they're all individual and they're all isolated. So, for example, if you use any similar solution to us for a personal account, so think about it, that solution is only one workspace. And with Nimbus, and especially with the deal that you are getting, you can create a lot of workspaces. And I would suggest you to think about structure, the way how you want to structure it. For every workspace, you can invite members and set different access level permissions. So for example, if I go here, so I can select 3 types of members that we currently have. I'll explain that, that's important. And also the workspace and permission that you want this member to have. So what's important is pay attention when you invite manager or member. So the managers and those people who have access to organizational console, so they can manage organization. They won't have access to the billing because you as the owner have access, but managers can go and add themselves into different workspaces. So for example, if you want to invite someone only to one or several workspaces with a different permission levels, you need to have to select the members. So guests, that's another great thing that we implemented, that's a part of our customer portal. So those are not counted as members. So you can have as many as you want. And the only limitation here is you can invite 1 guest per 1 workspace. So you can't invite this member into multiple workspaces. And those members can be admins in the workspace, but they can edit, or you can set a read-only permissions. And so besides that, I would suggest you to think about the way how you can organize your workspaces. So in my example, I have one for AppSumo Showcase, and one for marketing, HR, archive, one for your users, and one for, not one, several for users and several for clients, and some more for the whole team. So that's pretty robust. And what's important, you can organize all your information not only in one like a workspace and trying to think, oh, this folder for that, this folder for that. You actually can do it in terms of workspaces, so it's more structured. And some of you already asked about folder level permissions, so we haven't gotten to it yet. That's our priority, and eventually you're gonna have ability to invite people into specific folders. We just wanted to start with a higher structure to make it done there really nice and beautiful, and then can proceed to workspaces. So the other thing here is the branding and CNAME that I mentioned earlier in the story with Jeremy. So when you go here, you can upload your logos for that are going to be used on a sign-in page or here on your organization, and also you can connect a custom domain. So we have a guide in the guide section how to do this. It's somewhere here. Okay, we have a custom domain CNAME. So you can go over and have your whole organization on your domain, and all your workspaces will be on your domain. Then what you can do is you can set a branding for every workspace individually. So you can put your logo, the image, as you see, that's all custom images, and on your shared pages, public pages. You can enable search engine indexing and other stuff. So there is a lot of stuff. I don't want just to go too deep into it. You have everything in the guides, and we have a support team that's going to help you. And besides the branding, so you can make all your data experience and all customer experience as part of your brand, not ours. You also can do something very interesting, which is JavaScript injections into Nimbus Note, inside the Nimbus Note web version, or into public pages. So let me switch to another account that I prepared. So this organization is on our CNAME, so it's connected to a website. So as you see, it's not on a Nimbus, it's a different website. And when you go to workspaces, you can go to section which calls custom HTML and JS. And here you can embed various marketing solutions. For example, in this example, I embedded intercom into web client, and also I can go with both web client and public links. And another my injection is from we just found some kind of marketing call to action service, CTA service, create a widget. So I embedded it and I selected public links. So once you have it, it's very important that it has to be connected to your domain CNAME. So you can't do this if you don't connect CNAME because of the security reasons. So once you have it, here's what's going to happen. Once you go to your workspace, you have an intercom here. So basically, if you have new team members or clients, you can put your existing solutions that you work and support them here inside. And for public pages, as I mentioned, we created this nice looking widget. So after you embed it, that's our public page. So let me refresh it. It's here, as you see, it's here. And you can embed a lot of stuff, even a Google Facebook Pixel, Google Analytics, different CTAs if you need it. So let's say if I go to this node, as you see, it's also here, and it's adjusting the screen size. So currently it works on a workspace level. So it's not like you can connect it to a specific page right now, but you can connect it different injections to different workspaces. So let's say you have 50 workspaces. So all of that I just showed you, you can have one set of those integrations to one workspace and other set to another workspace. So that's what makes us unique, and we continue to develop that. So that's why we need your feedback and use cases, so we know what to implement next or how to adjust all of these functionalities. So once you're done with the organizational level, you have your structure, you put your branding, you have your team in place, permissions, so all that good. Then you go to the inside the Nimbus Note, the web version or desktop on your mobile, and that's where all magic happens. So let's go over first navigation. And since we'll have a limited time, I assume you have a lot of questions, so I want to go into like a very basic stuff like what editing is, what is highlights and things like that. We have actually very awesome highlights. I want to show you the bigger picture and what makes us unique compared to other competitors. So you choose for yourself actually on your use case, so what you want to achieve, and based on what you want to achieve, you can decide do you want to use us or you want to use somewhere else. So that's how I would do. So the navigation here is on the very top. You have all your workspaces and you can switch, and on the very bottom you can switch with organization. So if you switch to another organization, the workspaces would be from that organization. So we try to keep it separate, so to avoid confusion. So by accident you won't go and post something where it shouldn't be. Besides that, you can adjust your sidebar, so you can hide it if you need more space. So as you see, you can switch here. You can resize this part, and if you need even more space, you can go full screen. In some cases, what I like to do, if you go to appearance, you can select a full width, and your node will be stretched to the full screen. This one is kind of small. Let's say this one is large. Yeah. So as you see, let's see. Okay, so let's go full width. And you can use a hotkeys, by the way. So you see it takes more space, so you can fully concentrate on one node. Okay, so that's our navigation. It's quite flexible. And now let's go to a next level of our structure. That's folders and tags. So our structure goes is you can have a lot of basically unlimited number of folders and nested folders, so nesting level, same as on your computer. And every folder can aggregate hundreds of thousands of nodes. So which you can just unload so much data and organize in folders. But sometimes what you need is, let's say you want to access multiple nodes from different folders by certain criteria, certain idea. So for that, we have tags. In this case, let's say I want to, I have a label urgent, like on this node. So when I click it, I get all nodes from different folders, as you see here. They're from different places, but they all accessible in one click. And you can go even further. So you can bookmark this link because it's text selected, and have it as a bookmark in your browser. So next time you want to access hundreds of nodes from different folders by certain criteria, you just do a one click, and with a one click, you have everything on your screen. So that's a super convenient in terms of like fast access to your data. So besides that, we have like quite standard functionality. Like we have a search, reminders, separate attachment panels, a panel if you need tasks. I don't know actually if it's unique for our solutions or not, but we also have it. Tasks for nodes. The great use case is when you work on kind of some kind of node and concentrate. What you can do, you can put a node for yourself, so you won't forget your idea, or you won't miss anything, and put a reminder as well. And then we get to the editor, and we have very interesting solution. That's a block editor like Legos, and that editor provides you a lot of things compared to traditional documents, let's say Microsoft Word or Google Documents. To have ideas and understand what you could do, you can go to template section. It's somewhere on the left. We have many templates. It's loading. Or you can create when you create a new node on the right hand, you also have templates here. And I mean, if you see, it just takes quite a bit of time, because I mean that's a lot, and we are continue editing. We also have a special submission form, like you guys submit a lot of information, so we create as a templates, and we will put them for the rest of the community. So with templates, you get a better idea what you can do. So let me demonstrate some of the key things that I wanted to show you. Let me open some of the links here. Okay, so when you create a new node, you have a special line with objects, and we are continue adding those objects. Checkboxes, bullet lists, all of those standard things. We have we have some markdown also. You can hide and like expand and collapse them if needed. So besides that, we have a table. I will show going to show it later. Attachments, images, code blocks, and the other things I'm going to show you soon. So let's get to tables. So we have a very unique and interesting solution in terms of tables. You can create a mixed tables, a mix of database, regular table, and a spreadsheet. So for example, we have we merged several cells into one cells, and we have a column which has type of checkbox. And now I can create one more column, and let's say create some people call it in a different way. You can call it as a tag, or you can call it as a multiple selects. So when you create, you have lots of them. Then you can choose and edit them. Or you can create a mixed columns. For example, let's say, okay, let me create a new one more table. Let me. So I can do what I can do. So let's say we have a attachment. You can have here rating, and also you can have in the same column, let's say progress. So the sky's the limit how much you can build here. So the only thing is those spreadsheets, it's not a replacement of Google Sheets. Like if you want to create like hundreds of data, that's so that's better to use Google Sheets. And the good news, you can embed them right inside. I'm going to show you. So with the tables, you can do a lot of things, and please watch our templates because they will give you a lot of great ideas. So in terms of embedding, let me find let's say, quick note here. So with embedding, you can embed third-party services. That's one is actually from AppSumo right now. These guys, I just want to also to support them. They have a 3D service providing them some demos, so I just embedded them inside. I embedded some kind of widget from other website with cool images, so you can do things. You can embed Google public pages right inside Nimbus as well, and so from one place you can update data in multiple nodes in various workspaces. Now let's say let's try Google. So I shared. So when you paste the link, you have an option to select as embed, and now it's loading. So let me go full screen. So, and you see we have a Google document inside Nimbus Note, and you can edit it. And you can do same with Google Sheets. You can do same with the what else? Google Slides. So when we continue working on these functionalities, we want to bring our own widgets similar to this one, to have our own widget gallery eventually. And we have everything for that. So probably later on, we will release API for that. So you can, community can create their own widgets and even put some monetization inside the widgets, like have a free version and with some upgrades with extra functionality. Okay, so what else? We have other nice features. For example, I personally like the bookmark. We also spent some additional time to make this object even better. So you can go and change preview. So for many popular websites, you will have already predefined gallery. So for example, this one we're going to look great for, I think, for dark theme. Let me check to see. In a dark theme, this one looks better. Or you can go change, let's say, to a tile, to a cover, and also you can upload your own image. And by the way, one of the most important is mentions. So this object is quite interesting. So when you hit a shortcut, you can paste the data, you can tag people, you can put a link to workspaces, folders, and nodes. So let's say I want to link marketing workspace. So once I did a shortcut, I start typing marketing, and it filters. And now I can click here. So once I click here, I will get to marketing workspace. If let's say a particular user doesn't have permission to a marketing workspace, so he won't get there. So once you create this structure like a web, so make sure that everyone has permission to where you connect. The other thing that we already got a lot of requests from our community that we're building is backlinks. So it's not only you create links to, but you also can see what reference back. Those things we already noted. That's in our discussion with the team, so we're going to put it in a roadmap as well. And the other functionality, I think you can figure out by yourself, or you go to the guides. I think all of them, it's already here. You can just go and see some demos and showcases on our guide sections. So also all blocks you can drag and drop them. You can create a columns. You can adjust columns. Same with other files. For example, you can drag and drop PDF, and once you have this PDF file, you can you can just view it or go with a full screen right inside here. And let's get to public pages. So with the Nimbus, you can share your pages publicly, individual nodes, or the whole nested structure. So let's say we want to share this folder as a public. And so there are a couple of things here. If you connect it to your own domain, you will get your link, your own link. If needed, you can protect this this sharing with a password. And the other cool thing that we have is embedding. So what you can do is, I know, let's try to share this node. So let's say we have this folder. I got embedded code. Now I go to. Okay, let's actually try it here from here as well. So even from the initial shared pages, you can copy code. Here is my blog, Nimbus blog. I updated. Now let me refresh it. So and here we go. We have a Nimbus node inside your website, and if you share. Let's say if you shared the whole folder, let's see how, I haven't tried it yet. Let's see how it goes. Okay, so you have multiple nodes here inside embed. So since you have a branding, you can put your own branding, or you can turn that off if needed. And this embed, it adjusted to the width of your website container that you put in, or you can put a fixed size here if needed. So it's quite flexible, and also we continue working on that. Again, we need your use cases, so post your use cases in our Facebook group. We do personal interviews with some of the users with interesting cases, and based on that, we're going to adjust our functionality. So besides that, Nimbus Note is available on all major platforms, desktop, Mac, Windows, on a mobile, iPhone, iPad, Android devices. Also, it works offline, which is very important. It works fully offline, and there is no device limits in Nimbus Note. And one of the great news is I have it with me. For those who already use Android, I have I don't know if I can show it. I have a new, on my Android Samsung, I have a new version of Nimbus Note on Android. It's fully redesigned. Bruce, can you see it? Can you confirm that you see it clearly?
Yep, we see it.
Okay, that's a fully new version of Android that we already have. We have a new menu on the very bottom. If you long tap, you get options of how you want to create nodes. So we fully redesigned it. We made it more clean. It also has a dark theme. Dark theme also looks cool. So once you go inside, you have everything what you have on the Nimbus Note. So we are very excited. I think we're going to release it in this month. Our team already started to beta testing. Then we push it to our group. We want to have some guys of you, so you take it and you try to break it. So if you break it, we fix it. So that's the whole idea of beta testing. So we have many great things coming up in Nimbus. And what I showed you is just the tip of the iceberg. A lot of things you can do inside here. Same. By the way, I forgot to mention, like you can export all your data, and you can put a two-step verification. You can put a passcode on mobile devices. So our company, we have educational compliance in the United States. It's slightly different. It applies to educational institutes. But the point is, we are very serious about like security and what we do. Yes, you can export in desktop version. You can export whole folders and subfolders. You will get them in archive, and let's say some of your nodes contain PDF files, videos, or whatever. They also will be exported in an archive and attached to a particular node as a PDF or HTML files. Regarding the import, we spent a lot of time to create import for Evernote. We continue improving it. And currently we're developing HTML import that will provide you to import from other services. So I know that you already requested a lot about besides Evernote. So we are aware of it and we are working. So I think we are starting to get slightly out of the time, and I think we can get to the questions because we have many people here. Yeah, and later on we can proceed on our webinars that we run weekly, or you can go on our Facebook group, private Facebook group, and ask questions there as well. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing. So
you did amazing. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you.
At that time, I think you did great.
Thank you.
Sumolings, I'm letting you know right now, there are a lot of questions in this Q&A box. And I know that Bruce has been crushing it in the chat, trying to get to all your questions.
Literally.
I see smoke comes up on his keyboard.
So I know that y'all are curious about this deal and that you have a lot that you want to know. The major question that comes up a lot is, when is this feature coming? When is this feature coming? It's a lot of that. So I don't want to go through, like, when are you going to introduce folder sharing? I'm sure I can scroll through this and see introduce and when is this coming 1,000 times. So instead of going through all of those questions, let's talk about what you're excited about on the roadmap.
Okay, yeah, so we are excited. We are going to update UX and a stack of our web version and a desktop, because once you develop solution, you need to also fight with a legacy code. That's why a new design and it's gonna be custom material design, and a stack latest Angular will be here. So we'll continue pushing updates. So our team will split, and we're going to work on a new version, new UX, and at the same time deliver features. So the one is we're excited is to make our web version of product fully white label. So all of those links that you see inside the Nimbus Note, you will be able to remove them, having a CNAME, your logos, your branding. So people are going to feel that's your service, that's your solution, not a third-party service. So that's our idea. That's why our mission, if you remember, I said we want to bring a freedom. So that's actually one of the key aspects. You have a freedom, so it's yours. The other thing is we created a community of consultants. That's part of our merchant solution that we want to launch. So that's people also gonna able to monetize their solutions, their knowledge, their workspaces. So I'm very excited of that. So we need your feedback about that. And by the way, Bruce, do you want to add a couple cents about that? I know that we discussed a lot.
A couple of things that I wanted to cover. So number one, I'm a big proponent of a few desktop solutions. So we're working on some side projects about and the question did come up earlier about, let's say, video capture. So we're working on that for a desktop application for, like screenshot capture and video capture. That's number one. Number two, and I did want to mention this couples in with number three, So number two, we'll be able to work, and we're kind of it's not there yet, but the ability to like monetize workspaces, which is why we're introducing full white label, monetize, let's say, individual pages, monetize organizations. We're kind of working with that with the group, so please join our community so we can discuss that with you guys further. And then tied in with monetization, and number three, and this answers a few questions that we've had in chat, you can have like a pop-up, and the pop-up could be something like a paywall, it could be a chat, it could be some sort of lead gen, because we do work with JavaScripts that embeds on our pages. So that is something to keep in mind. So there you go. That's pretty much all I wanted to cover.
Yeah, so it's all about kind of freedom. So you're free to do whatever you want. The only problem sometimes with freedom, once people get it, they don't know what to do with it. That's another thing. So that's why we need your community and to join our consulting community, because in this case, we come up with use cases, and in this case, and we will be able to put a right feature set inside this solution that is gonna work for you, because I mean, that's all about you. So that's why please join us. As I mentioned, we do also private discussions with the members who provide a really interesting solution. So we do a customer development. So before we implement something, we think up front, and then we do. We don't want to redo stuff. So, and that's what we did with our previous launch. So we collect a lot of feedback. And also like a positive and also some negative. So people were complaining about some things which is normal, like that's why we're here. So, and we work hard to fix it, to implement it and show it to you. So now with AppSumo, with all your community, we're going to make a next huge step forward. So yeah, so I'm very excited about it.
Wonderful, thank you. We have some questions here about the customer portal. Mm-hmm. One person says, I bought 4 codes as it shows branded customer portal. What is this exactly? Another person asks, what does the customer portal look like? What can you show us?
Well, I actually like your trust. So you buy and then you ask why you bought it, so, which is cool. So I mean, you trust. That's great. So yeah, so that's basically what just Bruce mentioned. Is we want you to be able to monetize it, and with the power of public pages, you will get a new, let's say one of the use cases, a new generation of lead magnets. So because right now, let's say you put usually people and companies, they send PDF files, but once a person gets a PDF file, you lose control of that person that moment when he or she reviews that the information inside it. So when you will be able to organize Nimbus pages as the, let's say, as a PDF structure with our some slide presentation that we're working on, you will be able to integrate marketing solutions. So when they get this access there, you have a Facebook pixel for retargeting, you have call to action, you have a support, so you can interact with them and provide some kind of upsells or influence on their decision in a key moments. So, and the customer portal will be able to also to sell access to your knowledge or your information. So just don't upload information that you can't sell, because don't forget about copyrights. You can't, like take some kind of movie from Netflix with a Nimbus capture 4K and then upload to inside the Nimbus Note and sell access to it based on the subscription. I mean, you can try it, but you will get in trouble. So think about also about some legal aspects.
Great. A question that we got, and we get this a lot in various ways in different tools. So can you explain the difference in personal and organization? There was another question that I can't find right now. I'm trying, but another question that came up.
I have flooded the responses, so my bad. I'm literally trying to answer everybody. Yeah.
You're doing great. I can't find it, but somebody had asked, do I have to have 2 Nimbus Notes accounts for different things? And I know that the organization function, I think, covers that. And makes that answer so it's no, but I'm not sure. So you tell us, can you explain the difference in a personal and organization?
So the personal is just it's like a demo and bonus for you in our structure. Since we are not only came here for LTD, we have a large plan. So we provide you access. It's limited for personal area. Just you can feel how the personal accounts look and how you can use them in case you want, like later on. That's what we encourage our community to advise that actually Nimbus is also great for personal use. So some people, they don't need such a robust structure with all multi organizations. So some people just want to have a couple of workspaces for themselves to split, let's say, personal and for work, or like for family, or like for spouse, something like that. So it's a kind of demo, but still you have access to it. Well, I think what's important here, when you invite your team members, so use domain email accounts that you control. So for example, if you invited someone with their Gmail account, and then they, for some reason, they leave your company, that personal account will stay with them. So that's important for you to make sure that your team members actually use your email accounts that you own. That's a good practice for companies in general. Like don't, if you use a Slack, like say, so create accounts for people like on your business side, not as to like Gmail accounts or like other services.
Awesome. Somebody says, can we pretty please see the customer portal?
No, you can, but basically it's the way how it's going to look. We will integrate with third-party services. It's actually quite straightforward. So same what I showed you in organizational level, when you invite members, so the workflow will be the same, but you connect a billing to, let's say, to a workspace level, and you set your like tires, like pricing for access, and you will get a special landing page from the third-party service where people gonna buy it. So once people landed on that page, and those services also provide you your branding, so you can put all your logos as well. So it will be for customers, it's going to be a seamless experience. They make a subscription, so that's third-party service through the API kicks Nimbus, and we grant access to the workspace with the permissions that you set. So basically, if you ever used any third-party services for merchant solutions, let's say services like Kajabi, Kajabi, Teachable, and things like those, that's a similar.
Great. And the question that I couldn't find, she found me. The question is, just to confirm, one Nimbus business account can be used for many businesses.
Well, I mean, that's all up to you. Yeah, so you got this freedom, so you decide how you want to do it.
Great, yeah. So if you want to, yes.
Yes, so a couple of things here. If you run several businesses, and let's say it's a completely different business, let's say development and marketing agency, different websites. So I would suggest to have two organizations because you connect CNAME to every organization. It's kind of, oh, by the way, it's one of the most common questions. CNAME connected to organizational level, not to specific workspace. So which means you have two businesses, you have two organizations, individual branding, individual access permission, so individual teams, customers, and down the structure.
Excellent, thank you. One person did just ask, what do you consider a workspace? So can you define that one for us too?
So let's make it easier. So let's say some of you use a personal account in Notion or Evernote for personal use. Just think about it. So that whole area where you operate, that's a one workspace. So if you buy one code, I think it's 10 workspaces there. So basically you have 10 personal Evernote accounts, but with the organizational level on top, so you can manage all of them, set permissions, members, and I mean, you have multiple organizations as well. So basically, our workspace is one entity with which is isolated from another, which is fully synchronized, works offline, etc., with the permissions, team members, guest accounts, and branding.
Great, thank you. We get a lot of questions about storage. It says what are the storage limits? One code gets 50 gigabytes of storage. Is that forever, or is this a monthly limit? And then another person asked, what's the cost to add more storage?
Well, that's the most hot. The other, you actually getting those like the most through all of those questions. You get the most popular ones. So
yeah, I've done a few of these webinars.
Yeah, yes, I see. You have very sharp eyes, so you can find it out. So yes, so we have a total storage, which basically is same like let's say Google Drive or Dropbox. You have a limit. You hit a limit. You can access your data, but synchronization not gonna work because you can't upload data. But you can clean up the storage and you have more storage. And also we have integrations with larger storages and services that is built for that specific reason. Because from just for regular user, it looks like the same. What's the difference? Like if I upload to Nimbus or I upload to Google Drive, it's actually it's different a lot on the back end. So their system is built to handle large files. The way how they pay for the storage differently. Our solution is built for many nodes and many files. So our backend and Amazon bills us not just for storage, for every request. So once you go to a file, you hit it, even it's already downloaded, it's still, if it pings our server, we pay to Amazon. So it's a different solution, different backend solution. So that's why I think for large files, use something like a Google Drive, you still can embed it inside. I showed it in a demo. And also you have, I think you have plenty just for like just regular documents and things like that.
Thank you. All right, we're going to go through a few more specific ones that maybe you haven't heard as often. The first one, and I'm doing this because it just came up again in the chat, and I know that they've been waiting for this answer. Can I adjust the logo size on the login page? Can I add welcome texts or change them, etc.?
Not yet. So that's one of the things. That's how we move. So we create a core foundation, core structures. Same with organizations. Then we need you with you use cases. Basically, I know that. So if we just follow what people just want, that's going to be like just a bloated of so much functionality. So that's why we have a community. So you explain us why this is important. So and we need other people who is also use the same login page. Support that request, and in this case we sit with a team, we go through, we understand it, and we implement it. So we don't want to do things that like only 1% gonna need it. So I think it's actually a good idea to adjust the logo. Please post it in our Facebook group, but that's how we operate here. So we get the feedback, we think first, and then we implement.
Great, thank you. All right, this one comes from Mary, who is a college professor. She's wondering if you can use Nimbus Note to build a course with a community. In other words, can I use this to host a course where I can have discussion posts and my students can respond and chat with each other?
Well, that's a great question. If she goes to our website, we have a special education section for education. Also, we run an educational support program. So if you're in educational area, we will also provide you even more benefits because that's our goal, like our future generations. So please contact us. I will contact you with Alex. He's our head of product and partnership. So we will work on use cases. And the answer is yes, you can organize it as an LMS because traditional LMSs, they're very limited in terms of like which content you can post. For example, in Google Classrooms, I mean, you can just put a text. I really doubt that you can put inside even an image. So that's why in Nimbus, we provide you that's power of embedding and different objects, so you can create a great content. And for kids, it's very important, so you keep them focused, engaged with a more dynamic content. And yeah, so that's how you can do. And so please contact. We would like to talk to you and understand the way how you can organize, and we can help you with that as well.
Awesome, thank you. This next one from Randall, is it possible to create our own reusable templates?
With a new stack with the new UX, you're going to have it. Yes, you will be able to do. So currently right now, how it works is, for example, you just create one node, select everything from there, just copy and paste it. So basically here is a template. In web version, you can duplicate nodes as well. We're going to bring that in our desktop version as well in the mobile apps. Yeah, so the idea is you just create nodes that you want to use as a templates, put them in a specific folder, and just name it templates. Then you just can copy and paste it. And what's great with our tables, you can even, like copy certain cells in a table. And once you paste it in another node, you will get a new table with those selected cells. So we actually work hard to make this transition with copy pasting a lot. It was a very complicated task, but we get it from those requests from our previous launch, so we implemented.
Great, thank you. Rosario asks or says, I'd like to know if the OCR capabilities allow mergers of scanned pages into a full doc or PDF.
That's a good question.
Not yet. So that's again one of those cases where we provided you core functionality of those things. So now let's talk about it. So if you want to merge PDF and all of those things, I mean, we can't replace all tools in the world. It's not possible. So we need to understand the value and how that value brings to businesses and other users. So that's why. So let's discuss that, and we are here to build a product. So yes, if we see the value, community supports it. So why not? We will implement it.
Fantastic, thank you.
Oh, by the way, sorry for interjection. I actually forgot regarding the previous question, storage upgrades. So if you really hit that limit, which actually people want storage, but actually not many people actually hit the limit. That's the other thing. You will get additional add-ons, and with AppSumo you get 60% off discount to get this add-on. So let's say you want a storage, you will be able to get a storage that you need with a discounted price and have it.
Great. We've gotten, so these are two different questions, but they have the same core. So I'm grouping them together. One person asked if they can embed hang on, let me just grab the question. Can I embed that table on a website so that people can click and add text, etc., without being a guest? Somebody else asked if they could embed a photo gallery or, no, where did it go? It's fine. Can I share with people who do not have Nimbus where they can view a photo gallery, for instance? So it sounds like people want to be able to share with people outside of Nimbus.
That's a
How do they do this?
That was the whole idea. So our idea is to have an organic growth instead of like spending lots of money in a paid marketing. So embedding, that's for this purpose. So everything that you see on a public pages, when you share it as a nested structure, you can embed on your website, as I showed an example with my blog post. So those embeds, they have a read-only permission, which means people can view, they can download, they can interact, but they can't, let's say, delete it or upload something. We don't have it yet. It's one of other things that we are thinking if we want to do it or not, to let people from outside our environment ability to edit shared data. So that's other discussions that probably we should have with the community, and with a new stack we can do this as well.
Great. All right, we're gonna do another. Go for it.
I had two questions that were coming up, Paul, so I might as well ask you. One is about searching. Is it possible to search over a whole organization? I'll let you answer that. That'll be probably the first one.
Not yet. So that's one of other requests we got. So we want to see actually how many organizations and workspaces you're actually going to use, because as I said earlier, people just want stuff, but then majority they don't use it. So for us, implementing such things that's actually doable. It's not some kind of rocket science like end-to-end encryption that we used to have. So the thing is, we can implement that. We just want to migrate to the latest version of Angular. It will provide us more resources to launch new features faster. That's our goal. And yes, so then we will provide more management options in organizational console, like even a refined search, like when you can search by many other criteria. It's not just about title or description.
Perfect. And then the other one I had is people asking about imports. One example is, can they import files and pages from OneNote, OneNote, books,
Yeah.
OneNote books and pages?
Well, not yet, because we actually spent so much time to support Evernote imports, because majority of our people come from Evernote. Since they have a very custom backup file, it's a totally different beast. So we had to do this right now, since we have a HTML import. It's all right now, it's in development. So once we launch it, yes, you will be able. So if you export from OneNote or from Notion, other solutions into HTML as HTML file, you will be able to import inside us. And regarding just the documents, you can drag and drop them inside the Nimbus, and you have it.
There you go. Those are the two main ones that I had. Sorry, go ahead, Lindsay. Didn't mean to take
No,
over.
I appreciate that. Thank you. And if you see any coming up in the chat a lot, go for it. You got your eye on the chat. I got my eye scrambling through this Q&A box. We are already a couple minutes over, Sumo Langs. Obviously, we're not going to end things now, but I do want to give you a warning that we are not, there's no way I'm getting through 62 questions in the next
I've answered majority.
10 minutes.
They kind of migrated over.
Yes, that is true.
Did,
and
yeah.
Some of these might have already gotten an answer, so that's good. But I do want the replay to have these. So this question came up. I'm trying to understand where Nimbus fits in with things like Asana, Process Street, and the rest of my stack. Somebody else has, or a bunch of people have asked, why would somebody maybe move from Evernote over to Nimbus Note? So I'm just interested in general on one, how do you stand apart from the competition? And also, where do you fit in with the rest of tools to help people, level up their business?
Yes, yeah, it's actually great. It's not one. There are several questions there, so let's go over.
Yeah, I tend to do that.
Yes,
I know.
yes.
There's so many. I have to.
Yeah, and also one of the most important. So regarding the Asana is for task management and project management. So right now we are more concentrated on information management and collaboration, and so working with clients. And also we wanted to have this ability so people can monetize this knowledge, which I think is also great. So I think in terms of like Asana and other project management tools, I think Nimbus is the one that you can actually integrate with them and use. Let's say you have a task, you can assign Nimbus folders, workspaces, or specific nodes in Asana. So we're going to have integrations. So regarding Evernote and other solutions like Notion, maybe many people also mentioned that. So I think the best use case is, first you want to understand what you personally want to achieve, because different people have different needs and goals. Once you understand your goals, you can understand what you need. And different software companies, they have provide different set of features. So just check which particular company does that feature for you the best. In this case, you can decide what you want. And I think in our case, our value and what makes us unique is, first, that structure. You won't get such structure in other solutions. And they can't implement it fast, because when you change a stack, you change your design. That's one problem. But once you have a certain structure in your company, in your products, it's very complicated. There is always no way you can do it to change it to completely something different. So that's why we started with a very high level of multi-organizations, workspaces. So if you want to organize your data, not to be in like one cluttered space, just mixed it. So you want to organize it with a permission, with a team, with the clients. I think Nimbus is a great tool to go with. Same with branding and monetization. So I think that's where we're good at. In terms of like Notion, I think right now their table database, I think, is one of the best, but I think they compete with other services like Coda.io. So they have a different game. So our focus was right now information management for this year, bring our unique set of features and bring Evernote users into our system, because that's how we started. And I think in 2021, I think the next year won't be that crazy as this year for everyone. I hope so. So that's why it will be a lot more productive for everyone and for us. So we will bring up a lot more features and some things that even people really like in Notion. We will try to have them as well. I can't promise like everything like copying pasting, because I think we should be also unique, not just going and copy from everyone. We need to concentrate on our vision, on our goal. And like your community, as I mentioned, Jeremy advised us building CNAME. So you are part of a community that will be is already created around our product Nimbus Note, and so you help us to make our next big move here. So that's all about long-term game.
Wonderful, thank you. All right, we've gotten some questions about security. I've gotten two of them together. First one, I see a template to store your passwords. Can you talk about security and storing personal information in your system? The other person asks, how secure is the information if you use this as a CRM?
Well, I mean, it's pretty secure. It's the same with any other solutions that we currently use. I mean, it's all, there are certain standards. Well, in terms of like super high level security, we are not compliant, let's say, with HIPAA, which is medical, or like, like government defense. Like, like you can, I don't think like in the military they want to use solutions like ours from like Notion or Evernote. That's a different thing. But in terms of like general security, we have the same. And I mentioned we also worked very hard to have also support education, and they require different, more strict set of securities. So that's why we actually spent decent amount of time on that as well. And and by the way, we have two-step authentication. You can set up passcode log, things like that. But I think the most important type of security is your common sense. I mean, if you have a super secure system, but you leave your laptop in a public place, not locked, I mean, there is nothing, there is no one can help you with it. I mean, don't install some kind of crappy software on your desktop computer, because I mean, they can lock your typing, the way how you enter, your passwords. So those things, like, it's like just a common sense and based, like, like you wash your hands, you make sure it's, you're not like, they clean before you eat. So the same like with security is also like, when you use some kind of software, just use also common sense in the terms.
Thank you. All right, Sumolings, we are going to be wrapping up shortly. I'm going to ask just a couple more questions because this one has to do with the AppSumo deal specifically. When you stack AppSumo codes, does this automatically give you separate organizations within the account, or are you simply increasing the workspaces/resources within one organization? Another question was, how many organizations can you have with 3 codes?
Okay, so for every organization, you need at least 1 code or subscription. So for example, if you have 3 codes, so you can stack them in one organization and have unlock, let's say, some functionalities that you get with a 3 stack. Or you can create 3 organizations and have 1 code per organization, basically have like 3 CNAMEs, 3 custom domain names. So as I said, freedom is yours. So you figure out how you want to deal with that, and we're open to help you. And we have a support community. So let's talk. Yeah, so contact us. We'll be glad to help you figure out. And don't forget about guides and that resource link, the page with all resources that Bruce mentioned earlier.
Wonderful.
2 things that have come up. One, just to give you guys a reminder, inside our Facebook groups, every Tuesday at 9 a.m. Pacific, we do our weekly webinars, so you can ask us a lot of Q&As like this. Number 2, and Pavel, a lot of people have been asking about the $19.99 add-on, the monthly add-on. Could you go into that a little bit?
Yeah. So with the add-on is, I mean, some people is if you want, like, like support us on a regular basis as well, because as LTD, it's basically it's lifetime liability for us. So if you can support it, you have it, so you can get a 1 code and you get add-on, so you get get like a 10 stack plus other stuff. It also unlocks everything that includes in stacks with a Nimbus capture, with a web clipper, everything is there. So it's a matter of preference. So we try to be more flexible, and so whatever you like, whatever you choose, so you have it, and so you get it.
Wonderful. Thank you. Bruce, are any other questions that you think are pressing that we want to address?
The only thing I've seen is customer portal. The other thing I want to mention on that is that it's also going to be kind of like, instead of directing people to a Nimbus login page, it will be your CNAME with your logo and then your login page. So think of it like that. It's just an alternative login, so it doesn't show Nimbus branding for your partners, your clients, your guests, et cetera, et cetera.
Yes.
Yes. I've seen that come up a few times too. Also, lots of compliments and conspiracy theories about your background.
It's my office, guys. So there you go. It's not fake.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, so most of, the important thing is you go on our website and read our terms of service and a policy. I mean, there is a legal language. I know it's very confusing, but lawyers create it for lawyers. I mean, but so it's a company. We're in the United States, and we are fully compliant with all laws inside the United States. And I think that's the last thing what anyone want to do is deal with the government and prosecution and other things, and not only just inside the United States, but outside as well. So nobody wants to have problems. So that's why, I mean, yeah, so that's why, I mean, it's all fine. I mean, just go do your research. And I mean, and that, my background, I mean, guys, we're all like all immigrants, like co-founder of Google has Russian roots, initial founder of Evernote, he's from ex-Soviet Union. Like in day-to-day life, you use a lot of actually products which is built by international teams. And I think it's great because people from the whole world, they can cooperate and build something great. But important is actually the residency. So which laws, country laws, particular company comply. That's the most important. So that's why we are in the United States.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. Is there a Google Chrome extension? Somebody just asked that.
Yeah, for Nimbus Capture and for Web Clipper. It also on a Firefox, but I don't suggest using Firefox. Such a headache.
Just in general.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, use a Chrome, and we have a desktop version of Capture, Nimbus Capture coming up. I hope to show you some kind of sneak peeks and demos maybe next week. So you see, yeah.
Wonderful. All right, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Anything else you want to tell us? We're good.
Yeah, so let me just probably wrap up with a final message.
Please do it. Go for it.
I was prepared for that as well. So Lindsay, Bruce, thank you for helping me out on during the webinar. I greatly appreciate it. So and a couple of things to Sumo links. That's why we're here. All right. So the first thing is join our private group on Facebook, our community. We're building it around Nimbus. So your feedback is very important. Second, as I said, feedback use cases are very important. I'd like to mention that we, like Alex and I, we conduct interviews with users regularly to understand your needs better. So please message me personally or support to join the interview to tell your story. And the last, I know that there is a room for improvements. We also got some bugs and reports. I mean, that's total normal. That's why we're here, guys. So just think long term. Think how we already fixed and improved during this period, like 6 months before, and so think what you're gonna get eventually with us. And so what else? So thanks everyone. Feel free to ask questions in our support channels, Facebook, private Facebook group. And so like happy Friday, today is Friday. So have a great weekend.
Wonderful. Thank you all so much, Sumolings. As you know, you can visit AppSumo right now to redeem your codes. It's $59 for a lifetime deal backed by AppSumo's 60-day guarantee. So go ahead, set it up, play around with it, see how it's working for you. And then, of course, let us know in the feedback. They've already gotten tons of reviews. We probably won't even see yours. There's so many. But no, we do love to get your feedback and we do want to read your reviews. So go ahead and leave those. And then, of course, if you have any more questions, you know where to send them. There's the deal page. It sounds like Tuesday mornings is where it's at to go get your questions answered live. So yeah, we'll see you all there. And thank you guys so much for hanging out with us for
Thank you
this.
for your time. Bye-bye, guys.
Good one.